Redline Logbook here for Danmachi Skills Part 4. We're going to start off with one of Belle's skills, Oxslayer. Oxslayer gives Belle an increase in stats when fighting against a bull monster. Depending on how intense the fight is, it even has the ability to boost him to another level while fighting. Belle developed this skill after his duel with Asterius and losing, and his intense feelings to wanting to win their third and final battle developed this skill. Now, this skill works on other bull monsters, not just minotaurs, not just Asterius, but anything that is a bull, this skill will increase Belle's stats against it. But the main purpose of this skill is for that final duel with Asterius. And the skill will most likely be needed because even though Belle is leveling up very quickly, it was stated that Asterius, who's already at level 7, is just getting started. Pretty much everyone, including Eyes, agrees that Asterius is just going to become stronger and stronger. It would not surprise me if Asterius is on par with a level 8 or 9 by the end of the series, completely surpassing every single adventurer except Belle, which is why this skill is so important to Belle. Next up is my favorite skill of all, Avenger. Avenger is Aiza's skill. This skill she developed after she lost her mother and father to the one-eyed black dragon. This skill increases Aiza's stats against monsters, increases the stats even further against dragon monsters, and can increase stats based on how much hatred Aiz has for said monster. Okay, so to explain just how powerful Avenger is, when Aiz was a level 1 with all 0 Aiz stats, she went into the dungeon and fought a goblin. This is pretty standard. Usually you get hit once or twice by a goblin, and then you'll cut it down. Same thing happened to Belle when he started out, with all his 0 stats at level 1. When Aiz came across this goblin, she moved so fast it didn't even see her, and she hit it so hard, instead of cutting it down with her sword, it was like she hit it with a mallet and it exploded. It's heavily implied, at this point, Aiz was already on par with either a high level 1 or a low level 2 adventurer. That's right, all 0 stats at level 1, and she's already basically a level 2. That's how much power this skill gave her. It gets even better. At a certain point, like all adventurers except for Belle, Aiz hit a wall at level 1, where her max stats were C in strength, D in endurance, B in dexterity, and A in agility. And she actually didn't know she had magic at this point, until she became obsessed with leveling up. Eventually, she was able to figure out how to do that thanks to Hermes. And so, now that she had the knowledge of how to level up, she then decided the best course was to go hunting infant dragons. Infant dragons are just a name. They are actually fully grown, like all monsters when they are born, but they are the strongest monsters in the upper floors. Only 3 or 4 are able to spawn at a time, which makes them extremely rare, but each one is a level 2. A low level 2, but still a level 2. As such, it takes a team of level 1s, in fact, multiple teams of level 1s, usually to take one single down. In fact, they're referred to as the party killer, because one infant dragon can wipe out an entire level 1 party. With her current stats at that time, she had no chance of defeating one, but she did. In fact, she systematically wiped out every single baby dragon that would spawn on the 11th and 12th floors. And she only stopped killing them because she ran out of opponents to fight. She then went back to Revis, where she then asked her to give her a healing potion so she then go back in the dungeon and wait for more infant dragons to spawn. Now, if a normal level 1 did this, they would level up beyond imagining. Easy peasy. But because of Aiz's Avenger, she was so much more powerful than the baby dragons that it didn't even count. A level 2 monster meant nothing to her. What forced her to level up was when she took on an irregular. The god Thanatos decided to go into the dungeon and try to court her onto his side, but when she rejected him, he released his power, causing the dungeon to give birth to a black wyvern. Now, a monster that is summoned to kill a god that has entered the dungeon has 3 aspects that are always the same. 1, that are black. 2, it has regen, so no matter how many times you hit it, it will keep regenerating until you destroy its magic crystal. And 3, it's an entire level above the original. Standard wyverns are from the middle floors and they're roughly a level 2. A high level 2, stronger than that of a minotaur, which means this black wyvern was on par with a level 3, if not just a high level 3. And thanks to Aiz's skill, plus being told about her magic at this point by Revis, Aiz was able to kill this thing, which means, thanks to Revenger, a level 1 Aiz was on par with a level 3 monster. Now, for most of the series, we don't actually get to see Aiz use Revenger, because she goes out of her way to seal its power because of its severe side effect, which is it basically turns her into a doll. This skill actually sucks the emotion and humanity out of Aiz, turning her into a marionette that is basically controlled by this skill, whose sole purpose is to kill everything around it until the marionette breaks. Because yes, this skill pushing Aiz further and further to the point where her body will literally break itself. This is meant to be used as a last resort. This is important because Aiz would not use her ability after learning to control it until Asterius showed up, a level 7 monster that was defeating 3 level sixes all by himself. The Amazon sisters and, well, Eyes being haunted by the sight of monsters acting like humans and protecting one another was driving her insane. And then when Asterius came along, it basically gave her clarity that, oh, that is a real monster. That is what monsters should be. Me slaughtering monsters is the right thing. Because at this point, it was causing doubts in her head. And so this automatically activated Avenger when she attacks Asterius. And she was stronger than Asterius. Don't get me wrong, if Asterius got a clean blow on her, he probably would have did damage. But the thing is, he couldn't. Eyes was too fast, her magic was too strong, and she was cutting him to shreds. All because of Avenger. And we're not even at the limit of what Avenger can do, because after the whole incident with the Xenos, Eyes learned that there are monsters with human hearts, but there are also humans who are monsters. And so, because the skill is built solely around her mindset, if she considers someone a human, the skill can't be used against them. But if she considers that person a monster, she can use the skill. And so in her final battle against Revis, she finally considered her a monster, and she was able to activate the full might of Avenger against... Now I need to explain to you just how powerful Revis is. Revis is a high level 7. When I say a high level 7, it has been stated that she's stronger than Otter before Otter uses his skill, but no one knew about that skill yet. And that's not some simple statement being made that, oh, Revis is stronger than Otter. That's just some delusion. No. Revis held her own and was winning against the top 3 members of the Loki Familia. And that was a weaker version of Revis. That is a Revis who then spent, after fighting those 3, an enormous amount of time just consuming magic stones from monsters from the deep floors. This Revis is 100% stronger than Otter at this point, and is just bodying Eyes at the beginning of their fight. That's when Eyes finally is able to accept Revis as a monster, and then he fucking obliterates her. And I mean that literally. Her body is blown apart. The only reason why Revis survived that single attack was because she moved her magic stone from her chest to her head. And then Eyes kept going and attacking. And once again, Revis only survived because she kept doing gambles, protecting her magic stone, and then regenerate. This is a Revis that's stronger than Otter and is being one-shotted by Eyes. And then Revis only was able to become equal with Eyes when Eyes was using Revenger, when she decided to absorb the green, well, it turns red on her, flesh of the demi-spirits that are currently casting a spell to destroy Aurorio. That's right, she absorbed partial magic power of 7 demi-spirits. A single demi-spirit is a level 7 monster, which means Revis is buffing herself to at least a level 8, if not borderline level 9. I won't go that far, I'll say it's more likely a high level 8. But still, this is the only way Revis was now able to stand on par with Eyes using Avenger. But, like I said, for Eyes to use this level of power, the cost is losing herself, and her body literally ripping itself apart. And so Eyes was about to go on a suicide fight with Revis, and was almost there. This is the max power of Revenger, and it was going to kill Eyes. The only reason why she survived is because she snapped out of it when she heard Bel's Argonaut, the chiming of the bells, when they were echoing down the halls of Noxus. And when she heard them, that's when she snapped back into reality and got control over herself. Revenger is without a doubt the second best skill in all of Danmachi. Obviously, Bel's Rhea's phrase is the best, but this skill right here, this allows you to surpass yourself tenfold over and over again. The cost is your humanity, though, so you gotta be willing to risk that, or at least have someone like Eyes has Bell to bring you back from the brink. And of course, one last thing, the Revenger skill also increases Eyes' magic, of course, along with the rest of her skills. In fact, it actually turns her wind black. So it actually becomes very clear when she's using Avenger, because her magic is now seeped in darkness. I'm going to stop there. I know that was only 2 skills, but I really wanted to get into Avenger. So, if you enjoy this video, subscribe, give a thumbs up so you enjoy more Danmachi and other things. Thank you, and have a great day.